Hello, welcome back to One's the Force, the Star Wars podcast. My name is Phil, of course, and I'm joined as usual by Dave. However, we are doing a very special episode this evening because something dropped that we are quite excited about. Dave is the one that actually brought us to our attention, so I'm going to let you bring this up.
Yeah, well, I mean, people may have not noticed, but we were talking about last time how we've got our podcast pretty much everywhere audio now. I was just plodding along, getting more episodes out, trying to get a full back catalogue out, when it popped up on YouTube for a new trailer for a Star Wars kids animated show. So I went, okay, I'll have a look. And I had a look, and I was blown away by this trailer. Absolutely blown away. It's the Star Wars the Galaxy Adventures. And it looks like it's based... Most of it looks around the new trilogy, but it has got the Yoda Dooku fight in. We'll talk about that later. So it's obviously going to be based across the stretch of the saga. It is going to be short, and I think it's the 30th of November on... It's a new YouTube channel, which is Star Wars Kids.
Correct, yeah. It's launching this coming Friday 30th of November on the Star Wars Kids YouTube channel. So it's a brand new YouTube channel. Obviously, yeah, it's in the title. It's explicitly for kids to introduce them to the original trilogy and to the prequel era trilogy by the same way we have Rebels and Clone Wars, that animated feel, get them into it without having to immerse them in the awesomeness that is the original trilogy films. However, we have the trailer loaded up. We're going to give it a quick watch now, and then afterwards we're going to talk about it. So,
in the Star Wars galaxy, adventure awaits in a thrilling new series of shorts. So team up with your friends.
Are you sure this thing is safe?
Grab your lightsaber.
This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Fix your starship.
How's this?
Use the Force.
All too easy.
Luke, you switched off your targeting computer.
And stand up to evil.
I want to know what happened to the plans they sent you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Punch him!
Star Wars Galaxy of Adventures. Coming soon to the all-new Star Wars Kids YouTube channel.
So yeah, that's the trailer. It's a pretty wicked trailer. There's only one bit from the prequel era, which is Yoda versus Dooku, which I'm actually quite excited about. So the animation style, it's our third different way of looking at things. Now, of course, with Clone Wars, you have the full 3D immersive look at things. With Resistance, you have the new animated style, which I do quite like. And then, of course, after that as well, you have this new style, very 2D way of looking at things.
It's just... I mean, that trailer is absolutely mind-blowing. Some of the... I'm really, honestly, for what's going to be animated shorts, I'm absolutely blown away by the level of detail in them, that this has just been dropped on us out of nowhere. When you have a look at some of the stills, it's just, I can't quite believe what we're going to get in short form. Now, who knows if that's going to be 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I don't know. And it's obviously from the trailer you can see they've taken the speaking is not new actors. That's just pulled right out of the actual movie.
From the movies, yeah.
So it looks like, I don't know whether they're going to maybe build a scene out of a movie and then extra bits around the side of that. Obviously, we saw Leia on there shooting down the blockade runner. She's in the hallway, so obviously it's going to build around that scene. And that Vader scene looked like it was from Rogue One, where you see him pulling one of the troopers towards him. It's just... Yeah. I was absolutely blown away. I don't know. I mean, is there anything in particular that was when you first saw it? That you
have Han in animated form. You actually have Harrison Ford's voice in animated form.
Yes.
It's the weirdest thing. Of course, we've had Leia, we've had Luke, we've had Anthony Daniels. Of course, has done it for donkey's years. You've had people reprise their roles. You've had the characters come back, but to see Han is something completely new. But he was supposed to be in the last episode of Resistance, and we'll talk about that in our next regular podcast.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, that's gonna be a deep discussion. However, yes, having Han back, having Vader back, Vader for me, no matter whenever I get to see him, I'm always excited. I like the look of it. I don't like the look of the lightsaber in terms of just when he's twirling around, it kind of looks like it bends. It looks kind of a little weird. But the rest of it, no, it blew me away. It's a very much, of course, when you have not Red Leader, when you have Rebel Echo Base over the intercom going, Luke, you've turned off your targeting computer. Like scenes that we know well, scenes that you and I have seen dozens if not hundreds of times.
Yeah.
But in a new light. That's the thing. So it's a way of introducing kids to the original trilogy, showing them scenes, making them go, "Oh, well, what's that from?" You well, has anyone ever told you the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
And then that has to be in. You're absolutely right. That has to be in.
Mm.
But it's just, I mean, we've got some of the stills to kind of just quickly go through, really, and have a look at. So I mean, just picking
that
out
first one though, it's incredible. So you have Dooku versus Yoda. Now in episode 2, that is one of the best fight scenes, although it's very, very CG. I mean, it's back when Lucas was really pushing the boundaries and going further and further what he could do. And of course, Christopher Lee being an older gentleman at the time, again couldn't do huge amounts. There's a lot of CG involved in that, but to see it in this new animated style, it fits really, really well. Because Yoda's one of those characters hard to get right anyway, but to see the level of detail in it. I mean, so we got the images right here, and just to see the lightsaber reflections on their faces, to see the way it's lit up, to see the way they've got it perfectly proportioned. It's just fantastic.
The animation style is what's kind of tipped me back as well. I now know these are only going to be shorts. We're not getting full half-hour episodes or anything, which I'm kind of upset about. And now I've seen this trailer, I just want this format. I want to see.
It's the kind of animation style I wish they'd done for what is it? The other Disney short animations they were doing.
The Force of Destiny.
Force of Destiny, that's the one. Yes, I like Force of Destiny. There's some great little shorts in there. If you haven't seen it, I do actually recommend it. There's a few good ones in there, especially the one with Han and Han Leia's one, but one with Leia and Maz. That's one of my favorite ones. I absolutely adore that. But yes, this is the animation style I wish they'd actually done for it, because this looks fantastic. I mean, the next one we've got is just Han with the Falcon firing his DL-44, and it's just like one of those things, just the level of detail they got in the DL-44, his jacket, the shades, the colouring, right? It's just that, again, that level of detail they managed to put into it that just, blows us away. It does look fantastic.
There's one, I mean, my favorite, but there's a one of Leia feeding R2 the data disk.
Yeah, that is
and it
by
is
all means my favorite as well. It's just
stunning.
Oh, it's stunning. It's one of those things of, I wouldn't mind that as a piece of art on my wall.
I was thinking even more, the center circle where you can just see the circle with Leia and R2 in the middle, it would be an awesome tattoo.
It would be indeed. And I'd be happy to have that as an image on my wall. But yes, no, I'd happily have that as a tattoo. It's a brilliant silhouette. It's a brilliant, again, it's that level of detail. And that's one of the most famous scenes from Star Wars, and one of, especially after watching Rogue One, it's just that all of the yes. Personally, I also quite like the still of the Emperor with Vader and Luke's lightsabers crossed in front of him. That's always been one of my favorite scenes. Vader's redemption in episode 6, why episode 6 is my favorite, is Luke versus Vader, Vader's redemption, the Emperor. That entire sequence has always been my favorite, but to have that, it just looks fantastic. The Emperor himself looks really, really menacing. Don't get me wrong, Ian McDermott does an amazing job, but the way, just if you look at his face, it's just so menacing, and I just love it.
It's literally pitch perfect. All of the shots that we'll talk about that you'll see, they're done so well of taking this animated style, and they've put it over this. However they've done it, like taking the recordings and then put it over, and however they're going to build around it, I don't know. We'll see. The best thing is we'll see in a couple of days. It's not long to wait at all. Friday we're going to probably see our first episode.
Regular issue podcast, we will be talking about this.
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe depending on how good the first shot is, you might hear from us again before then. But it's just, I can't quite believe how this was not something that people knew was coming. Like, it's not. I certainly myself had not heard anything at all out there, and I update our sort of social media at the moment. I've been trying to get something out every day, so I'm scouring the internet for news.
Yep, we're putting a lot of work. I mean, George does the best he can when he can, and unfortunately he has no internet at the moment, or else he would have actually joined us. But again, looking at the animation start on this one, again, another screenshot Arcee's put on right now is the one of Vader with the Force grip with the Rebel soldier getting all too easy. It's just this.
Yeah, for them
dark.
to be bringing in Rogue One, I mean, that's obviously an element from Rogue One going to A New Hope, but that there is obviously from the looks like it's going to be from the corridor saying at the end of Rogue One. For this to all be tying in to give kids an overview of the saga, well, they're calling it a celebration of Star Wars, so it's obviously going out there just to cover a bit, and like you say, to take younger viewers through the films that we know and love without them having to sit down, and then you go from this and you then be able to show them this. They'll already know some of these scenes going in. I think it's wonderful.
Indeed, it's going to be a great way to bring them in. And then it's a way you can introduce them to Rebels if they like the animated start, the cartoon starts. A way you can bring them to Clone Wars, and then the movies themselves and Resistance. These may just be shorts. They may end up just being a few scenes from the films, and that's all they are. They may build around it, they may not, depending. With some people, you can't. For example, with Leia, of course, unfortunately, we lost Carrie Fisher. You can't record the audio for her, but you can record new for Mark Hamill, maybe. You can record Red Leader if you wanted to, because Garvin Dreis is still around. Oh, no, Gold Leader, because Garvin Dreis is still around. I can't remember his name. Red Leader passed away a couple of years ago as well. So it's not entirely possible for them to do new stuff. At the same time, they can. They could take it in a new direction, put out a few shorts here and there, along with Forces of Destiny. Then you've got Resistance. Then you've got Rebels. Then you've got Clone Wars. Then you've got the films. Then you've got Cassian Andor and The Mandalorian in this multi-layered, multi-tier way of bringing people in, along with the comics and the books. They are really covering their bases, but they're doing it in such a way that this will bring kids into it and allow parents and allow older audiences to sit down and go, look, this is what we love. Here's a way of looking at it. When they see Vader, they're going to go, oh my God, he's amazing. I want to see more.
Exactly. This is something my son's 3 and 3.5, and I absolutely can't wait for him to see this. And hopefully, if they're
we know you're already corrupting him. We have seen the evidence. It is good.
if he is, if it's even if it's 2 to 3 minutes, if it's less than that, they've got so much ground they can cover in this animated short feature, whereas they can pull from everything they've done so far, even down as far as going to Solo, and then taking us right through to Episode 8. I'm hoping we get some Rey and some scenes with Rey.
So, along with the Force of Destiny, it's going to be great for kids in terms of the attention span as well. You have to remember that they're not going to have the same attention span that you and I have. I mean, we're happy to sit down and watch.
You and I, attention span, come on, mate.
Well, when it comes to Star Wars, there's a bit of a difference. We can sit down and watch the entire movie.
That is true.
Sitting a kid down to watch the entire film, not always entirely possible, but if they see these animated shorts, these 30-second to 2-minute clips, again, it's that way of bringing them in slowly but surely.
It's just been an amazing thing for this to kind of come out of the blue. I've loved the reaction over the internet tonight.
I mean, on our Facebook page, search on Facebook for One to the Force of Star Wars podcast. Go and like our page there. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all our social media accounts, and of course, find us here on YouTube and our various audio sources. But over on our Facebook page, we just put up the trailer, and you put up earlier, and it's blown up. All 3 of our phones have been going absolutely mental because all the people coming, and the reaction has been nothing but positive. Usually we do get the 1 or 2 negative comments just because the fan base is varied and you do get those 1 or 2 trolls. But tonight, no, nothing but positivity.
I'm absolutely enamored with it already, and I've seen a trailer, which is probably going to be longer than the actual short we see on Friday. But to give you an overview of what you're seeing, I'm really excited for what's coming in short form.
Indeed, to see Luke in the X-Wing, to see the Falcon, to see Star Destroyers and Vader, the Emperor. I mean, they've already teased 1 clip of Episode 2, but the 1, Episode 3, 7 and 8, you have Solo, Rogue One, you have scope for more. Where they could go, we don't know yet, but we know it probably only be the start of things.
But yeah, so really we just wanted to get on and I just kind of react to this trailer that dropped from nowhere, just to really, because it was so, had this come out and been something like Force of Destiny, we probably wouldn't have come on and chatted about it. But the fact we were kind of blown away by the quality, the animation style, and the way they were.
Even George, by the way.
Yeah, even George was really impressed with how they've done it. The fact,
if you're not aware, George is our resident animated skeptic.
And it's just the fact they've pulled the voices, the voice work from the movies, I think, is an added dimension. I really like that they haven't gone to other voice actors.
For me, as I said, when you had Obi-Wan, though, when you said the weapon of a Jedi Knight, it's just the chills. As a Star Wars fan, someone who, as we've loved it for, I mean, myself is over 2 decades. Yourself is 3+.
Thanks, man.
George makes us feel even older. You know that. But to be a fan for 4 decades on end and to have that one of the most iconic moments in Star Wars history, to hear Anakin's voice there is just, Anakin's just yes, all of the yes. To have that is incredible. To see more of that, I'm down for it.
It's just that was a chills moment. He hands over the lightsaber, and we've got a clip. Well, not a clip of that, but you've obviously seen the trailer, and this is just the screenshot of it as well. That handing over the lightsaber with Alec Guinness talking over it. You're right. That's not just a little Star Wars. That's a major Star Wars moment, and this is going to be an animated short. I love this. I'm so far from seeing a trailer. I'm really excited.
You're not the only one, and we will be talking about it more next week. It's the fact that the reason why we love it so much is the fact that we're on here so late. If you're not aware, this video, although it's pre-recorded, we are actually editing. We of course shot it live. Is at 5 to midnight here in the UK, and yet we jumped on immediately because, it excited us that much. And even if it's only these 30-second clips, we are all down for it. I think it's about it for this evening, though.
Yeah, really, it was, just before we go, a massive thank you to everyone who's tonight on whatever date it is today, 28th of November, has come onto our Facebook page. We've had a load of new likes on there. People who've now followed us on Twitter, we're getting more on there. Instagram is growing as well. And hopefully you're going on and listening to the audio podcast that is now available on iTunes, on Spotify, on Podbean, and Stitcher as well. Sacked SoundCloud off for other reasons. That's fine. It is everywhere. You can get a load of us, or ignore us if you want to, but don't. We're excellent, honestly.
Indeed. So yes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are now on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, and we are on
Spotify
as well. There we go. That's the first one. I will get it down, Pat. I have to sign off here. But yes, we were Ones of the Force. May the Force of others be with you. Good night.